Okay, and we are live! Good day, my dear fellow friends. My name is Raven Marine, aka Thunburn, but you can call me but you can just call me Thunburn for short. Today, this is log 7 of the thuncast. We have been getting so much support to the point where there's actual fan art of me, credited by Beholder himself. Anyways, we have a special guest here today. Now, this is a good guest here. It is a mere warrior that is on the battlefield who wears the blood lit armor, the green eyes, and half the time will appear bounded, battle wounded, scratched on the mere chest, lost an arm, and a mere one arm that carries a chainsaw. He would walk towards enemies even with his wounded self and kill anything that stands within his way. I give you the man, the myth himself, who's part of the podcast, Zachary. Tell me, Zachary, how was your day?
It's going actually pretty nicely. Boring work day and all.
I see. Other than that, can you actually say that you're glad to be here on the Thuncast?
Oh, hell yeah, I am. Why wouldn't I be?
Just checking just to be sure. Also, I'm telling you now, Zachary, that these videos will not be edited in any sort of way in order to capture the funniness and the trial and tribulations that I have to go through in order for me to get a perfect podcast. So remember, I'm only doing this for the community, so people such as yourself is able to give a proper opinion on what is going on here and there. But I'm letting you know from off of your perspective, Zachary. There are going to be no secret information that should be leaked out in these podcasts. That we'll have to keep to yourself. Is that clear, Zachary?
That won't be a problem.
All right. Let us continue. Let us continue with the Thuncast and answer the 6 questions. First question: how did you find IOM?
I was looking through a fellow genre. Remember, it was a different genre based around an Assassin's Creed game. Awkwardly enough, some other guy called Jiraiya's Bloodvein. I was looking through his groups and I saw this, and I thought, this looked pretty interesting to join, and so I did. And let's just say the butterfly effect happened from there.
I see. Just a mere look upon the top image, I believe, right? Like where the Discord have this like second profile that would actually indicate on what background you use, I guess, for your profile on Discord, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a mere look. It was like in 2019, I believe. Yeah, 2019 February, which I don't think that was around back then for Discord Nitro.
I see.
I was
So
actually going through his Roblox scripts and I saw this and I thought, I don't know much about 40k. Maybe this is a good opportunity to learn.
2019, by the way. So, by any chance, were you actually there for the Great Fall or the Great Tragedy? I would call it either between those two, but that would be depicting on the great losses of like all factions, Primarchs losing their roles, people who actually worked hard to actually earn their power armor, and all just forsaking it not to lose it all. Were you actually there for those times?
No, that was actually a few years earlier. I think like 2016, 17 maybe. I was only here for the Astartes reforms of early 2020 and late 2019.
Ah, I see. Well, you've been here far and wide, but yet you were not able to hear the Trinity. Now, here's a little question. Why do you actually like to full on become a blood angel?
One of these days, I hope I can actually become a Blood Angel, but leading it in full, I'm pretty sure this is a pipe dream for me now because I have like so many other responsibilities, either to the dev team or my real life. It's not exactly something I'd easily be able to do now.
Hmm. So, with the benefits of basically helping out the community, you as yourself have basically wanted to make your own morphs, so that just satisfied you for a while?
Yes, actually, it satisfies me now still.
Hmm. How much morphs do you mostly create on your fellow Banner Brothers? Or just Bow Brothers in general?
Well, the current set of Dark Angels morphs, they weren't made by me.
Hmm.
I do have a set of Blood Angels morphs which I have shown publicly, and those are in the number into 23.
And those were the one that you personally made.
Yes, the Blood Angels morphs are all made by me.
Very fascinating. Honestly, I really could wish I could see it for myself, but maybe later within the podcast. We can't show any pictures within the podcast until I'm able to get like use and trying to evolve to my pod to the thuncast. For now, it's just going to be no pictures and no videos until then. But great to know. Very first question, well answered and well said. Second question, what was your journey like in IOM? Or the community,
It
for short?
Well, since it happened mostly in 2019, I can't exactly remember everything. All I know I know a few details though. There was a point in time where, for an extended period of time, I was a commissar under some bloodline called the Trash's leadership. The trouble was that for the longest time, apparently, I these are still spotty in my mind, but they dumped most of their responsibilities onto me, a mere commissar. And some group members took notice and even told me about it, but I didn't notice at the time until some genre members got together and voted me into the position of Lord Commander of the Death Corps. This was way back in 2019, so I didn't know what I was fucking doing at the time.
Interesting. My start on when I became a commissar back in my Templar days, it was a real hassle for me. Honestly, with the amount of paperwork of keeping track, plus demoting and promoting the MT members was just truly something else. The elite of the elite, honestly, really couldn't call themselves the brains of the brains.
For
But
me, oh wait, go continue. Shit, sorry.
thank you. But it was a time that was well lived. After that, I became a Templar, and then that was my Warhammer 40k journey starting from there.
All right.
So you would want to say anything else? Because I believe I cut you off on something.
Don't worry, don't worry. Sorry about that. Anyway, while I was Lord Commander, it wasn't that great of a time, honestly. The guards were inactive, I think, for the most part, and the group was just overall in a slump. So, I think a few higher ups, I forgot their names. I think it was mostly, yeah, I still forget the names today, but they decided to close down the guard and have it be 100% Astartes. I was demoted from Lord Commander to Sergeant in the Ultramarines. Later, I got hit with the captain promotion, captain of the second company to be exact. Yes, I was Cato Sicarius for a time.
Ooh.
But later, I got sent all the way up to chapter master, which that's not important at this time because I was under a Primarch. But as Oliver said in his video, both the chapter master of the Iron Hands at the time and Primarch of the Ultramarines, they left due to some controversy involving a member named Wolfram. So I got booted up to leader of the Ultramarines, and later, it just wasn't dealing well. So instead, I got chosen to chapter shift from the Ultramarines straight to the Blood Angels, which is pretty much where my career mostly begins and somewhat of what I remember the most.
And that was when your Blood Angel journey begins. When you actually started to take a love for it and started making models, only to hope that one day the faction of the Blood Angels, will be added to Caltega. Am I getting that right?
Yes, that is 100% where my love for the Blood Angels began, and is the whole reason why it's still my favorite chapter to begin with.
Fascinating. Alright, second question well answered. Very well done. Alright, third question. What was your position like in IOM? Wait, wait, did I answer this question to you? I can have a little bit of
Well, what was
confusion.
I think the question you asked was like,
What
how
was
did I
your
get
what?
started in IOM?
Okay. Oh yes, your journey. What was your position like in IOM? I do apologize. My mind sort of wanders, and I really don't know why. Maybe it's because of the time, but go ahead.
That is entirely fair. My position in IOM, well, I barely remember my days as a Death Corps commissar and Lord Commander. All I know was that I was hold up 1 sec. Sorry, my parents are talking. Anyway, let me continue. For the most part, wait, they're still talking. Damn it.
Do not worry. Half of the stuff I'm picking up of my end is not going through the your end. So all of that is just merely but stutters within the background that are not even able to get picked up by the desktop audio by not a long shot, to be fairly honest. So you can still go ahead.
Okay, my position in IOM. All right, let me continue from there. It was like, for the most part, I just remember my chapter master days where somehow, by some miracle, I managed to convince people that I was good enough to become Primarch Sanguinius, which is 90% of what I remember, and is as much as people deride me for it, I thought it was like one of my most fun times in the group. Like, I don't think anything compares nowadays.
Hmm. So you just had that simple dream. No wait, not simple. Strong dream of just becoming the leaders of the Dark Angels. But yet everybody sort of saw and looked down upon you, thinking that you're never going to reach it. But you still persist on. You fight on, trying to at least reach that position.
Well, let me be completely honest here. I did not think I would ever reach such a high position. Like, I thought, like, oh, I'll just join this group for fun. Maybe get a high rank position, but maybe go completely inactive one day, never return. Instead, all of a sudden, I'm in the Blood Angels as a chapter master. Oh no, what the hell is happening? And then I get turned into a goddamn Primarch, and I'm just here like, how? How did I even get here?
We all ask how we can get here. How did I for long get promoted randomly to Space Marine? That is not a question that I ask, but hey, that can be one person who can ask that one Sunday.
Asking how I got to become a space marine, like, it literally just got dropped on me because, like, I didn't have a real choice. There were no guardsman chapters, but hey, I was enthusiastic into becoming an Adeptus Astartes, so why not?
Hmm. Oh, a very life well lived. But there's something missing, and that is the
But
sadness that came afterwards. Beyond everything else, you became Primarch. You were happy. You've already done achieve what you needed to achieve, and after a while, snap, it was all gone. What was your
most
what was your
up
reaction
continue.
when that happened?
Nah, I mostly just blame myself because it happened after, well, you already know. I'm pretty sure everyone else has already like yelled at me about it several times by now. But
I don't know.
basically,
Wait.
oh, you don't. Well, let me explain it then. Basically, during one of the group's most active days, like the several factions rallying at once, like full guardsmen regiments and like two Astartes chapters, I fumbled the bag pretty hard and forgot to properly set up 3 raids for this event. And instead, we just went with one for, like, I think a Warframe based group. And, like, yeah, I was disappointing. I really fumbled the bag quite hard, and to this day, I still regret what happened. But now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure it would have happened regardless. Like, you know, getting demoted. Well, not demoted, but like, Blood Angel shutting down and whatnot.
Hmm. That instant almost reminds me of a time where I actually made that mistake. And that was just during the times when I was still in the Caldega IOM server. Remember that raid that was supposed to be scheduled with Chaos Legion?
I think I can recall, yeah.
Yeah, two separate occasions, and they weren't able to show up. After a while, two inspections, and I completely let people got disappointed in me. I basically failed, knowing that I was not even able to entertain the chapter master himself, Tech Deck and Beholder. I was clearly disappointed for what I did, and therefore I really thought I wasted their time. But after a while, they were able to know that, well, they know what they could have known. Like they accepted disappointment somehow. But that's just me going too deep. Point I'm trying to prove is that we have exactly had the same exact thing that happened to the both of us. And we still persist on even though that we made a couple of mistakes. Am I correct? About yours?
Yes, yes, that's the thing that separates most people. Like, do you continue what you do even if you fuck up? Like even in severe cases. And that's what separates me from like the Primarchs you mentioned, as well as several other people who, even more recent cases like Genius. Like, there are cases where people fumble the bag and then like they just shut down completely or just fuck up part of the group for no real reason. That's and I haven't done that at all. Which even if people would, okay, I'm stumbling over my words. Shit. If people wanted to blame me, like after the whole blows incident, I think I could have left, and people would honestly blame me, but I wouldn't have blamed myself somewhat, I guess.
Hmm. Alright.
I'm pretty sure I fumbled my point, but what I'm saying is, if you screw up, try to man up and own it.
Hmm.
You shouldn't like, how do I put this? Admin abuse two different discords and a Roblox group or other nefarious actions. You shouldn't do that. Like, you should just take it on the chin and keep going. But that's what some of us are apparently unable to do.
Hmm. Some of us. But very wise words to say. For many people who's actually listening to these songs, they're getting a lot of motivation and some personal advice from it. So, like I said, very well words to say. Fourth question
Uh,
here. What are you going to do in the near future of IOM? Or in IOM community in general?
that I'm still not sure. Like I said, I am fully willing to help out a chapter if it opens with specifically Blood Angels, but in all likelihood, I'll probably just remain a regular developer who uses a Flesh Terrorist custom morph for some reason. Like, people will probably ask questions, but I don't really care. I'm just here to have fun.
Honestly, people nowadays see you as a full-on Easter egg. Once they see you, they know that what there is a mystical red knight lurking around, actually trying to assist the Imperium of Man, though that he has a broken arm and a mere one-hand man user. He still fights, he still wonders, and he still makes sure to protect the Imperium even when drenched in blood rage.
God, I hope that's the case, because even if my morph can look a little bit edgy, that's mostly the idea. A wandering knight.
Well, you may never know what these podcasts can actually do. This is just depicting the near future. But what about helping others? Like, I noticed that you had decided to take initiative by giving Gene Stealer cults their specialist classes. Why is that?
Well, mostly out of a need to help, I guess you could say. Like, hey, the Gene Stealer cultists need this thing. We've been putting it off for like way too fucking long, and I just realized, shit, I could probably just cook this out in like an hour or two, and that's what I did. And it's honestly very good to do. Like, whenever I get bored, I try to go through suggestions and see what's possible for me to do, and sometimes I do it, but not often enough, I think.
Oh, so you're a man who actually listens to the suggestions and try to at least do some of them. What about this? Have you read on some of my suggestions that I've posted?
Yeah, like this most recent Demon Prince. I like the idea, but it'll probably take quite a bit to crank out. Like, I admit, I love this idea. I kind of want to do it, in fact, but we don't have the assets for it, or really, I don't know much else.
Honestly, might take a while, but the only reason why I made that suggestion was so that Chaos can actually have something. You know Shield, right?
Shield.
The man,
Elaborate.
Shield, the man who
Yeah, Shield TGE. Okay. Yeah, I
yes,
know him.
Shield. I interviewed him on the podcast. I believe it was I believe it was episode 3. By then when I talked to him, he just felt depressed and sad. Honestly, he has gone through a lot within the field of battle. Beyond everyone else, he sees as the Imperium of Man winning a lot, and as the Imperium Man, we are winning, but it's kind of too much. Chaos has been neglected for far too long, and merely to note that for a fact because, well, who one of the doubts that that update's gonna come anytime soon. And I'm not pushing any strings nor no frustrations on the developers. That's all on what they can do. It's just I'm just feeling bad for them at the moment. They had fought for their entire lives, actually trying to entertain us, give us something that we can fight for, come on to go digging for, and defend. And they were there since the times when Caldega was at the very start. Can you not say that it's wrong that they should deserve something?
It's definitely not wrong, honestly. Like, when you put it like that, I agree that they could use a few extra boosts and assets and maybe a few extra classes, but I'm don't think I'm the guy to implement them, honestly. Like, maybe if it's small enough I can do it, but like, small changes are what I do best, even if sometimes it can be big changes. But like the GSC stuff, that was just like a few reskinned classes at best. But like, Chaos is a whole different beast. You need to do like a lot more with them than just reskinning certain things. That's
Yeah,
why it's taking a bit longer than necessary. I sympathize with it though.
yeah. Honestly, what really ticked them off is when John had to full on pull out the Custodes, despite the Custodes code of, well, you know, you once the battle is once we have enough people, or when the battle is dire, that's when you could pull out the Custodes move. But John pulled it out anyways, and he just started soldering chaos to the point where it was unfair, to the point where they actually complained for a reason. And John did switch out, but in the mere end, the Imperium of Man win by capturing points that they worked so hard to defend. Even I could admit that the staff that I wield as a librarian is too overpowered. Not like I don't want it debuffed, because there are full-on units that are mostly powerful than me that I actually need to kill like Necrons. But I feel like they should deserve something. And that, being the Dark Prince of the Black Legion, should be that something. And I would full on try to make the model for it. Don't get me wrong, I will. Even if I have to full on recycle everything, I will.
Hmm. Well, like I said, like big asset things like brand new chaos morphs, those are not my responsibility, especially now that like the group is switching from regular morphs to full blender because CSG is just fucking shit, honestly. Like, I love unions and all. I love working with them, but for like the morph work we do, yeah, it's total shit to use. But like, I wish I could make chaos stuff, honestly, for that, but at the moment, I'm not that capable.
Hmm. See, so we're just making the Imperium of Morphs. But I know the dedication, and therefore you're playing a huge role within the Imperium. Though that you are a mere unit who's honestly an Easter egg at this point, but you still does show that motivation, that dedication, and that hope to one day receive your faction of your very own. And therefore that sparks something. For some chaos who is actually listening to this log also, I really mean it. You guys absolutely deserve it. Though that I'm not able to feel your pain, I honestly wish I could. I honestly would wish to know how much of you would suffer as the mere positions that you are. And even some of you would say, eh, I may be a space marine, but it is not fun playing as chaos. However, fourth question, very well said, Zachary. Fifth question. What do you think on the IOM community, beyond all factions, beyond the community itself? What are you able to think about it all?
Enjoyable to be around. God damn. Like, sure, they'll make fun of me every now and then, but you know what? I've learned at this point that making fun of me myself is probably one of the better things I can do nowadays. And also, lots of people are fucking hilarious and really nice to talk to, honestly. Like, I didn't expect this much from a 40K group I joined out of pure curiosity. Like, back then, it was just IOM, and there were people to talk to there, sure, but it was like the same 5 people every day, like, usually. But now it's just like, oh, multiple factions, and we gotta take care of them all, and lots of them actually have pretty good shit to say. Hey, it's all so worth it.
Hmm. That's the same.
Trust me.
That's the same
Well,
thing that I had said.
like, trust me, sometimes you guys can be a pain in the ass to argue with, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's very fun to be around.
Yep. All factions have one particular thing that they would want to say. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Just complaining. We all have in common, and that's just complaining.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a real pain in the ass to deal with, but like, I wouldn't change this experience I have with this group for the fucking world.
And that is very, very well said. I consider this group family. All factions. Some that I
Yeah,
some that I don't, and some that I do. I consider it all as family.
pretty much the same here.
Anyways, final question. What is the one thing that you would want in the IOM? But we, at this point, that was already discussed. You actually want the blood, blood, blood,
Blood
blood
Angels,
angels.
like, trust me, if there's one thing I want is to see the Blood Angels back to glory again, but I don't know if it'll be under my leadership, honestly. Like, I talked about it in the past with people like Pollock because they tried starting up a cult around it, but nowadays, I don't think I'll be that capable of leading today. Like, I have a bunch of responsibility on my shoulders, both in this genre and in real life. It's not exactly something I can dedicate full time leadership position to. But like seeing under someone else I can support and actually, you know, that actually helps understand me. Well, not just me, but the group at large. It would be good for me, just to say the least.
Hmm. Okay. That would be really something else. I would not want to say this because this is like a podcast. I'll be introducing the guests, but though there was something that I actually wanted, and this is like all putting aside on all the suggestions. Like, you know how you have your personal morph and you get to have like a little personal Easter egg, like you're the Easter egg, right? I have
Yes,
look upon my profile and tell me what you see.
the Raven Marine.
Yep.
Uh,
I actually want my personal morph in Caldega.
I'm not sure if that can be easily done or even arranged at this point, but that I can understand, honestly.
Yeah. It's kind of a simple. When I kind of created my morph, I was young. I kind of wanted to feel like I was a legit Marine, but I needed the armor to prove it, because my mentors were able to full on make me a Marine, and I would never forget them any day of the week. So, with me just doing some research and some recycling and researching, I was actually able to come up with this model, and therefore I kind of rolled with it ever since. To actually know that a model of yours would be inside the game, even if it's not playable or not, will just give you that hope and satisfaction that you'll still be remembered at some point.
Hmm, it's a good message, honestly, and one I agree with.
You know, the one, that would honestly be sick though. But however, you've answered the 6 questions very, very well. And I have thanked you for you, and I thank you for coming on here, sharing your opinion, sharing your journey on how it was to be on the Imperium of Man of IOM.
Eh, it's a satisfying experience to say the least, and one I do not have any regrets with joining.
Hmm. Now, with that all out of the way, what is the one message that you're able to give to the few viewers who are watching?
Uh, well, that's a tricky one, honestly, but how the hell do I say this properly? Because it is a bit difficult for me. Um, Sometimes if you see an opportunity and you're completely unsure of it, like new friend groups or hell, new groups like this one, sometimes you can always, like, sure, you can back out, but maybe sometimes it'll be good to bite the bullet if you think you have good feelings about it. Like, just go with your gut. Like, always go with your gut feeling. Like, if it tells you to go for it, like, if you're feeling good about it, sometimes it could be a bad thing, but other times it could be a very good thing.
Hmm. Very, very well said. Thank
I mean,
you
after
for.
all,
Oh,
going with my gut feel. Sorry,
no,
sorry for
sorry.
cutting out your closing message.
It's
Going with
it's
my
fine.
gut feel. Going with my gut feeling was what let me join IOM and be part of this community. And like I said it several times by now. It might get annoying, but I wouldn't change it for the fucking world. Like, this group kept me going through high school, and that's enough for me.
Hmm. A little life motivational thing that has kept you on to live on, make you even live on even. Truly, truly something to be for and well said. Well, my dear fellow friends, we have came this far. All 6 questions has been answered, and the guess was Zachary. Now you know 50% more of him, maybe?
Bah, I wouldn't say 50%, more like down to 25%. But yeah, you can know a little bit more about me now. I like getting my unfiltered thoughts out.
Hmm. Other than that, if the viewer viewers, if you want to be part of the next podcast, do reply to the via message. They'll be posted with the link and with a brand new picture with a brand new log each day. With that out of the way, allow me to give my final words. I truly mean, as I truly see every single last one of you within this community as a family. I honestly had it before, but I lost it all. I lost everything. I couldn't see my own old battle brothers. The only friends that I could have made friends with were the mere people. After that, I kind of just wandered aimlessly, trying to search. But now I'm here. Now that I found it, and I finally am able to call this place home. As I go upon every day, I will try to make this community better and better by posting more podcasts, by posting more logs so you guys can react, so you guys can actually share your opinions. I'm not doing this for personal gain. I'm doing this for all of you. And I'm be glad that I'm part of this community. You all have a wonderful day, and farewell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same to you.
yeah. Log